if your loved one's on the other side, find something that works. If they're trying something and it's like, oh, she noticed, okay, I'm going to use that. Okay. But if you look at that sign and go, yeah, our imagination, whatever, they're not going to use that again. Pay attention when stuff happens and electronics malfunction and turn on and off. That's a sign. Interact. Hey, I'm watching television. Come sit down on the sofa next to me. You might see the sofa depress. You might feel them standing by your bed. Be open. Use your senses to really just absorb sounds, smells, anything out of the ordinary is what you want to be receptive to. A lot of people, oh, I'm crazy. I must have imagined it. When you're doing that, you are shutting it down immediately and the communication ceases.
I'm Elysia Skye, and this is the Brilliance Method podcast. Through mindful, motivational, and often hilarious conversations with thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and executives, you'll discover new ways to create your life on purpose. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the Brilliance Method. Be sure to check out patreon.com/The Brilliance Method to get involved behind the scenes and join me live every single month for my spiritual think tank. Today, we are hanging out with the amazingly gifted Valentina Marie Lomborg. She was born in the world's happiest country of Denmark, which I've been to parents who were doctors. She went on to be educated in the beautiful Alps of Switzerland and later moved to the most northern point in Alaska, living among the Eskimos to finish out her school years. In her early 20s, a freak accident from a fall caused a traumatic brain injury that left her nearly comatose and close to dying. That was the beginning of when she discovered her unique psychic gifts. Although she continued a successful modeling career in Hollywood, she knew she had a special talent and started the discovery of her psychic and medium abilities. A few years later, in yet another freak accident, Valentina went through an unexpected accidental electrocution. It wasn't until February of 2015, however, when Valentina's world suddenly came crashing down when she lost both her parents within 14 days of each other. Her mother was her whole world and they were inseparable. And that started the obsession with wanting to communicate with her mother on the other side, who incidentally works with her now on all her readings. Thousands yearly seek out Valentina's extensive abilities to help both the living and those that have passed away, and even help with unsolved murder cases, helping to find lost loved ones and solve mystery deaths. After living in Europe, Alaska, Hawaii, and all over California, Valentina now resides in the Tampa Bay area in Florida, where she continues to be featured on television, magazines, and radio podcasts, both nationally and internationally. Hello, sweet, magnificent angel who I adore so much. Welcome to the party.
Thank you so much for having me. I have been waiting. You purposely have kept me waiting for months and months. The buildup is palatable. I know you're like a mirage. You finally came into fruition. I'm so excited to be here. I know it's going to be a wild and crazy ride.
It always is. And I adore you. And just to give everyone else some context, Valentina and I are both represented by Troy Griffin through Intuitive Talent. He has so many incredible gifted psychics, mediums, astrologers, intuitives. And we met on a Zoom call and connected there. And I just love her. I love who you are, Valentina. I love what you stand for. I love your energy. I know right after this, you're going to, is it a bachelorette? You're going to a party to do
Bachelorette party, a psychic party. Gotta take care of the bride and the well, I guess the others bachelorettes too. I never understood. Is there only one bachelorette?
Yeah, one bachelorette. That's how we
And
do it in
then
America. And everyone
the
else is the bridal
bridesmaids or whatever.
party. That's
Yes.
really, really cool. Yeah. If you go to
Yeah.
Valentina's website, which is Psychic Medium Valentina, and it'll be listed, of course, in the podcast description, you'll see all of her incredible offerings. You can book her for your events and you can work with her one-on-one. She does a lot of beautiful things, a lot of combinations of things. And as she mentioned, as we mentioned, her incredible mother helps her from the other side. And I'd love to hear about that specifically because my mother
Yeah.
crossed over in
Oh.
1993. She was my best friend too, so I totally resonate with your information. I totally
Right.
resonate with your story, and
Uh,
I feel like my mom helps me so much too. And there was a period of time where I felt like I didn't want to ask her for help, which is so silly. It actually wasn't until she died in 93, and I didn't start asking her to help me until like 99. What's that about?
Wow. That's
Yeah.
what your mother's been sitting there chomping at the bit, so to speak, going, come on.
Yeah. So how do you connect with your mom for her to come in and help you with your readings?
So it's weird because we never really talked about. Here's where it gets super weird because people always ask me, "Oh, are you from a long line of psychics?" Da, da, da. I said, "No, they had regular jobs. Nobody was sitting there trying to do psychics or witchery or whatever." And we never really talked about it much until I guess it was 2014 when I started just kind of, let me see if I can do something with this. And I started sharing with my mother. I said, "This is the readings I've done, and these are the people I've helped." And she was able to, because this happened before she passed, recognize it. And I was so glad that she passed after knowing what I did. And she just said, "Your father and I are so proud of you." So it would have killed me more if she had passed and then I started doing this and she never knew. So it was really crucial, the timing, that she was able to see that. She gave me encouragement. She was proud. It wasn't weird to her. And then in 2015, when I was cleaning out their house after they passed, everyone's got that junk room, So I go in that junk room with these, it's got computer, books, gift wrapping, it's an everything room. And I'm like going through the books and I see these books that are clearly yellowed, they're from the 70s, the 60s, and 30 books are on psychics, Sylvia Brown, all sorts of stuff, UFOs, Bigfoot. And I'm like, why did we not talk about this more? How did I not know that 30 years ago, plus, well, 50, 60, you were into this and we never talked about it? So I feel that that was also crucial because her having that knowledge of understanding life after death, there was life after death books, communicating with the dead, really groomed her for when she crossed over, combined with my gifts. We now combine forces with her knowledge from so long ago, and then me, and it's miraculous how it all came together without talking about it. And that's why I feel she is so good at working on the other side. So I didn't really have to invite her. It was more like, "Oh, I know this stuff already. I have been grooming my whole life to be able to work with my daughter." It's insane. She was very, very, like I said, we talked all day for like 9 hours a day, throughout the day, 2 hours and 4 hours in the morning and then the afternoon. And then, I mean, I did not make a move or scratch my anything without her knowing about it. Like
When she
everything.
was alive?
Yes, when she was alive, sorry, I
Mhm.
reported everything to my mother. "Okay, I'm going to an audition. Here's how it went. Oh, I got it. I didn't get it." She lived vicariously through me. And she always was very helpful. I mean, I'm an only child, so everything like, "What can I do to help you? What do you need? You need this, you need money, you need rent." I mean, she was always there. So, right before she passed, I was in a little bit of a financial predicament situation before leaving LA. And she felt very helpless. And I remember going, "Gosh, she can't help me. This is just, I'm sorry, mom, you cannot help me on this." So once she passed, I feel like she almost purposely, willfully passed so that she would be able to help me from the other side. Because being human is limited. You can only do so much to help people. But once she got over there, it's like, okay, I can influence this. I can manifest this. I can help my daughter. I am back to helping her again. And
Yeah.
so I feel like she willfully made herself pass, not only to join my father, but also this was the way that she could get back to being in my life and helping me and being nonstop like she is now.
Wow. So many people miss their family and they grieve their family or their partner or their friend or their pet. And that's why they hire mediums and psychics to connect. So, what a sacred, beautiful gift this is. And I also want to encourage everyone who's listening and watching that your family who's on the other side wants to connect with you directly as well.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is there's this beautiful energy worker that I mentor under every month, and her name is Rachel. And she doesn't quite call herself a medium, but that's what she does in addition to, mentoring people who are interested in energy work. And my mother comes through all the time. And my birthday was just recently, and she said, your mother wants you to stop going to mediums to talk to her. She just wants to talk to you directly. And I said, well,
Yeah.
she does. And I do hear her and I feel her, and since she had said that, I feel like I hear her more. And I feel like I feel my mom like cheering us on today. Like, couldn't be more perfect timing for us to have this conversation. And obviously for my audience to hear this conversation at any point that they're listening to it,
Hey.
that you just have to be open. So, is there any tips you can give me or our audience into being more open to hearing from our loved ones on the other side?
Yes, and that is a really good question because I do get that. People come to me because they are unable. And I have read in books that we cannot talk to our own family members. And I can see why, because we know them too well. It's very easy to go, oh, that's her favorite tea again, you know, versus a stranger saying, hey, she's drinking her favorite tea, because they wouldn't know that.
Oh, sure. The ego wants validation, but I think if you're open to it, we can skip that and go, maybe it feels like we're just making it up, but like let it be true for today.
Yeah. But what I'm living proof that it can be done. So whatever
Right.
was written in the book, like you cannot connect to your own person, the hell you can. you know, it's just you really have to quiet all the facts and things about your relatives, and don't try to put that in there and go, oh, he's on the lawnmower again, because you saw him do that. You have to just be open. And for my mother, she talks in my head all the time. And so I'll be thinking something, all of a sudden she'll come walking in vocally, and I'll be like, oh, okay. She has a lot to say, because I'll be at Ross buying something and I'll hear, that's ugly. And I know I didn't say that, but that's her, being typical with her opinion. She didn't like it. I put it back on the shelf. Um, so there's a nice banter going back and forth. And then her birthday was October 23rd, which is 10:23, and that constantly shows up on the clock whenever I happen to go, what time is it? Oh, 10:23. Hi, mom.
Mhm.
So we have that, because one thing I will tell you is, if your loved ones on the other side find something that works, if they're trying something and it's like, oh, she noticed, okay, I'm going to use that. Okay. But if you look at that sign and go, yeah, our imagination, whatever, they're not going to use that again, because, like, oh, that didn't work. So be open to the signs, whether it's lights blinking, fans turning off. They love electronics. So anything that's acting out of the norm, if you paid your electrical bill and stuff is still happening, then you know that, hey, that is something. So address it. Say, hey, oh, was that you? I saw that. If there's no energy exchange and they're not doing, you're not responding, they're going to go, oh, gosh, well, that didn't work. What else can I do now? So really pay attention when stuff happens and let electronics malfunction and turn on and off. That's a sign. Interact. Hey, I'm watching television. Come sit down on the sofa next to me. You might see the sofa depress. You might feel them standing by your bed watching you sleep. Be open. Use your senses to really just absorb sounds, smells, anything out of the ordinary is what you want to be receptive to.
That's
What
great.
happens is, I think a lot of people, oh, I'm crazy. I must have imagined it. When you're doing that, you are shutting it down immediately and the communication ceases.
That's right.
So, be open and just really and be patient. This is not something, an overnight sensation that happens and suddenly you can magically talk to your loved ones. You have to work at it. You have to differentiate between your own thoughts and what is coming through as a psychic thought, or psychic communication that's coming in. So I think
Yeah.
a lot of people give up. They're like, "Oh, I can't do this. I can't," and yeah, well, now you messed it up because you did give up.
And it's so interesting hearing them say, oh, I can't do this because there's nothing to do. In fact, you simply just be present. You do less.
Yeah, it's true. There is no, once you open up, things you are like this, like a funnel, and it just should come in,
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
it is about quieting your mind, let no other thoughts. I'm really good. I've mastered what's my own thought and what is not. And that's the key, because once you know what your own thoughts sound like, because all the talking is going on in your head, once you've mastered that, then it's very easy to know that anything coming in that isn't you is something else. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, and I've had that experience too, and I could add to that in order to know the difference, we all know what our own thoughts sound like. You don't have to get more familiar with your own thoughts. So when you for you to assume.
Well, I don't know. Some people may, if they have multiple people talking in their head.
That's true, that's true. But if you hear a voice, like you said, your mother's very opinionated, like, maybe you're not as opinion that's her, like, it just feels a certain way, it sounds a certain
Yeah.
way. Similar to even if you're not studying or you're interested in doing psychic work or mediumship work, sometimes we have thoughts or we have energy around us that just doesn't feel like us, like, especially if we're trying to make a decision around our business or anything like that. And you're like, actually, that's not even my thought. That's like old programming from some coach I don't even work with anymore. And then as soon as you feel like, oh, that doesn't feel authentic to me, that doesn't feel right, then you get to release it and go, that's not mine. And you can do the same thing in developing your intuition, wouldn't you say?
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. And I only say that because some people have a lot, if you've got anxiety or other little voices in your head, you might not know which one is you.
Yeah.
So a perfect way to start is to maybe start thinking, well, what is my voice inside, my thoughts? What do they sound like? Am I always very antsy? Am I always very angry? So get familiar with what your voice sounds like in your head, and then you'll know anything else. You're going to get familiar. You're going to have your guides. You're going to have, there's going to be a lot of voices, and you really need to know the personality of each one. And then once, it takes years and years, but once you get familiar by communicating every day, it's very easy for me. I know who's the guides. I know who's my mom. I know what crazy thoughts are mine. you know, which I would say I probably have 10% of my own thoughts. There is so much communication going on at all times that I really don't do a lot of thinking, because sadly it's done for me by
Mhm.
whoever's in my head. I don't mean crazy people, but there's so many people, like just now when I couldn't find the word, my guides were right there, like, it's this, and it's a lovely feeling to go through life no longer feeling like you're alone or abandoned, because you have so much help from above, and part of my readings is also to help people access that. People that are lonely, sad, oh, I'm all by myself. No, you're not. You are so loved from above, and there are so many people wanting to help you. And so not only do with the readings do I teach people how to get signs and pay attention, because I have a lot of people to reach. I can't keep working with the same people. Yeah, I got to move on. So the more people I could teach to get this going on their own, I can go on to other people. My
Yeah, that's
job is not, I do have a few people that have come like 4 or 5 times, and I'm like, "Okay, this is probably our last session. You need to learn to work with this person on your own,
Mhm. That's beautiful.
because
I
they
didn't
do become reliant on me. I become that voice, and it's like, "Well, what if God forbid something happened to me? You need to learn how to do this on your own."
How generous of you.
Yeah, is it?
It
I
is.
mean, I just
The
I
person who wrote that book, the person who wrote that book that said you can't connect with your family, that person just wanted more clients. That person was just trying to get more people to buy sessions from them.
marketing. No, but think about it. It's like, what? How mean? It was kind of a mean thing to say, because
Yeah,
you have shut down anyone's hope.
I
But that was
agree.
something I read in the book, and I thought, and it was I guess I read the book after I had already learned to do it. So I was like, well, this is a part of the book that's wrong, because you can, you
That's
know.
right.
So yeah, so it's just kind of like, but it takes work. That's all I'm saying. It's probably easier to go to a psychic, just like it's easier to go somewhere to Meineke and get an oil change than it is to figure out how to do it yourself. But it can be done.
Yes, it can. My grandmother is quite opinionated as well. So when you were saying you're at Ross and you hear your mom, my grandmother had said to me at one point that I dressed like an old lady. And it's so funny. She would always say, Lise, you dress like an old lady. and she gave me crap about it. But then when I would go to her house and she would open her closet and be like, "Hey, do you want anything? I want to get rid of some clothes." I'm like, "Do you see the connection here?"
She's keeping you like that. She is purposely sabotaging your modern look
Oh my
by
gosh. My
giving you old
uncle,
lady vibes.
it's so funny. My uncle is here visiting this week, and he was her pride and joy, her favorite child, really. And yeah, I can hear her going, "Don't say that on the internet, because now the other kid is gonna know." He knows. We all know Jeanette. And so I feel her energy so much this week. And I came back from walking the dogs this morning, and I know she loves the dogs. And I came in and I shut the door, and I felt a tap on my butt, just like she always used to do. She would just kind of tap me on the ass to get my attention. And I turned
Yep.
around and I went, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Hi, Graham." Right? I was just like, I knew she was here. And she messes with the lights so much that I actually got like a Tiffany style lamp that I put on the ceiling, because she said to me, she wanted a prettier lamp, because if she's gonna mess
Oh,
with it, she wants a prettier lamp. So now she loves that lamp that's there. It's so funny, you guys. You think like, oh, they're gone. They don't have the same personalities. Now they're angels or something. But no, their spirit, right? The spirit is that imprint of their human identity. And that's actually somewhat of a separate energy from a soul. It's all connected, but that
yeah,
spiritual imprint, of course, they're here and they're guiding us and they're watching us, not during private moments, don't worry.
yeah, yeah. No, no showers. Although I do get information during showers, and I wonder, was this just information or was the body standing outside my shower sending that? I mean, either way, whatever. We all have butts and boobs and penises, and um, we
And
all
they're
have the
great.
same body parts. I mean, it's just like I
Look,
don't think there's any shame. I don't care if they come when I'm showering. Just be respectful. Hand me the soap.
that's right. So I was telling my husband about you and how amazing you are. And I told him, I'm like, this happened and this happened. And then she got electrocuted. And you know what he said? He said, that's her superhero origin story.
Oh wow, I like that.
Isn't
I'm
that
writing it
cool?
down.
Write it down. It's like, oh my gosh, because I'm like, I just think it's so fascinating. And my friend Thomas John, he's a really talented medium. And his father, so sad, used to lock him in the closet in the dark for days at a time. And so
What?
ghosts would come, dead people would come to spend time with him because he was a little
Aw.
boy. So then
Yeah,
he
how
just was,
sweet.
it's so sweet. So then he was able to keep seeing them and communicate with them and felt comfort from them. And I'm like, as much as I truly envy, and I do, like how tapped in you are and you've gone all the way with it in your business. And I love a good rock star, right? And I love a good movie, but like the biggest heroes to me in my life are folks like you. And
Aw.
I said to my husband, I'm like, look, I'm not telling God in the universe I want to get struck by lightning or something like that. I just think it's so cool that you've taken what you've been through and you decided to own it and go with it. And I have a lot of entrepreneurs who watch this show, and many of them, even if they are literally shocked into doing what it is they're doing, still feel like, but I got a degree in architecture or like whatever it is. So, like, what was that moment for you, Valentina, when you're like, well, this is it? Like, I have to do this. Our show will be right back in 30 seconds. And right now, I wanted to share with you that as a lighthouse, I love shining a light on others. And today, I want to spotlight my friend, Lynn Louise Larson. She's the host of the Cosmic Valkyrie podcast, where ancient wisdom meets quantum science to help you align with your highest self. Every week, Lynn shares transmissions that blend energy, identity, and intuition in a way that is clear, powerful, and inspiring. If you're ready to release old patterns and step into your brilliance, go subscribe to the Cosmic Valkyrie podcast and let her guidance support your journey.
I mean, the universe was probably ready quicker than I was to give the gift, basically 30 years ago when the first accident happened, and then another freak accident. And I still wasn't ready, because it is a lot to take on. I wouldn't say it's a love hate relationship with being a psychic and a medium, but because hate's a little strong. But when things go well, of course, you're like, oh, I love my job, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a bad reading, and you're like, I don't sit and go, oh, I hate my job. I just think, well, you can't win them all. There's going to be some disgruntled people. Some people didn't like the reading, or blah, 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 or the skeptics. Because I know out of, 99% of all the other readings that were accurate and people were happy, okay, there's always that one person that comes along that wants to either tear you down on purpose. you know, I've had people just sit and say everything was wrong, and then later I found out everything was right. But for some
Right.
reason, they just want to sit there and rip you apart because we do have a very unique job that most people don't. Most people don't see it as a job, and then they don't believe what you do. And so it's not always greeted with open arms. But when I finally, and it was a progress because again, I started ghost hunting in 2010.
Wait,
And
tell us about that.
yeah, oh my God, it was so fun.
Wait, no, go back. I didn't know if I was going to do it. And then I started ghost hunting. So what's the moment between that you're like, fuck it, I'm going all in, or I'm going to try this? And look, not everybody takes a big leap, right? For everyone listening and watching, you may not say, I'm quitting my job today and I'm going to start my bakery. Like, don't do that. Like, set yourself up for success. Don't go broke, but been there, done that, starving artist, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Right. So sometimes it's a gradual thing of like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. So like, what was the moment before I'm going ghost hunting?
Well, I had just retired from modeling after nearly 45 years of modeling. And so I was like, gosh, wow, it's over. I mean, now I'm getting back to it again because there's older modeling now, mature modeling. But at that point, there wasn't. And so I thought, wow, gosh, what's the next career move? Here I am all these years. This is all I've known, my looks. And now I got to use my brain or something else. People
Okay, everybody who's watching this and not listening just went, wait a minute, I thought you were 30.
I'm going to
You
be
look,
60.
are you fucking kidding me?
I'm going to be 60 in January.
You're
60.
amazing.
60.
I
I'm a
want to be you when
senior.
I grow up. I
I'm
want
a
to be you when I grow up.
I'm a senior. I'm a senior.
Oh my gosh, you're a goddess. Okay, go back. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so I thought, well, what am I going to do now? And then this paranormal convention came to the Queen Mary in Long Beach, which is a ship that has now retired and sits in Long Beach as a hotel. So I thought, well, I lived in LA, so I thought, gosh, I've always wanted to go to the Queen Mary. This is perfect. I'll kill two birds with one stone. I will just go to the I'll stay at the hotel. I'll do this convention, and didn't really think much about it. I was like,
So
whatever.
haunted.
Yeah.
Like one of the most haunted places I've ever been.
Woo! So, we're going in little groups. I'm going with the Ghost Adventures people. And I was like, I hate being part of groups. I always try to venture off and get in trouble. I want to be by myself with the ghost. So when it was all done, I thought, yeah, okay, not that impressed, but, I'll go to my room. Well, so then I sat in the room and I said, if there's anything in the room with me, could you knock on the wall? 3 knocks came immediately. And I thought, yeah, I don't know. Skeptic, if you could do this again, I did not finish the sentence. 3 knocks came. I got humbled so quick. So, but there was a skeptic in me. So I thought, let me run outside my room. Maybe it's someone playing a prank knocking on the door. I went outside. You are not going to believe. Okay, so the Queen Mary, I don't know how long the ship is. I used to know this, 330 feet. I don't know. Something like that. Who knows? Maybe more. I look and I see all the way down the hallway because you can see the whole ship's hallway on one deck. The other decks break up. And I see a guy in 1940s. He's a server. He's got a silver tray, little bell hat, a little, the little um, gloves on his epaulet, a little crop burgundy suit, and black pants. And he's walking with a room service tray. And I can hear it clanking, solid as can be. I'm in my underwear and I'm standing in the hallway and I think, whoa. In a matter of seconds, he has gone from like 50 feet away to almost 10 feet from me. Like he floated. And I thought, wow, he's coming up really quick. I'm in my underwear. I'm going to run back in the room. So I sat down on the bed and I thought, something does not feel right about this. It's like 4 a.m. I didn't know they had room service at 4 a.m. I might get myself something. So I ran out the door again. I looked in the hallway. Nothing. Looked in the hallway. Nothing. Okay, I'm going to hear him knock on the door and say room service. Nothing. Okay, well, I'm going to hear all the noise from the big silver tray. Nothing. He just disappeared. That was the defining moment. I said, I love ghosts. That was cool. I just saw my first real live apparition. I mean, to the detail, you can't make that up. And then he disappeared. So a week later, I called the ship and I said, could you just tell me? I'm just curious. I couldn't let it go. I said, what time does room service stop? And she goes, oh, 11 p.m. I practically
Oh
dropped
my
the
God.
phone. And then I started Googling, and I've been there over 40 times because I stay there all the time. Their outfit is a white modern shirt, button down shirt with a black vest. And they roll it on a little cart. There is no silver tray. There's no hat. There's no gloves. This person was decked out in 1940s, what the original 1940s clothing looked like when they did room service. So if that was not proof that I had seen my first full-fledged, full body, not see-through, he was whole, and then he disappeared. That will make a believer out of anyone. At that point, you are like, whoa. And then I went, he could have showed up for anyone, but he showed up for me. And I felt honored and blessed and just, I mean, I love the 1940s anyway, but to see that outfit from the 1940s in the flesh, it was incredible. And that was the defining moment that I said, you know what? I like ghosts. They're interesting. They're fun to talk to. I don't want to let their story die. I want to be able to communicate with them. And if they've got something that they still needed to say, because most ghosts are earthbound, they're stuck. So if I can get the story out and help them move on where they should be up there, I want to do that. I want to talk to them. And so ghosts became such a prevalent part of my life. Most of the houses I've lived in have been haunted and all sorts of stuff falls off the ceiling, paintings fly off the wall, and I love it. I feel the most comfortable with ghosts.
Oh, that's so kind. It really is. What a generous thing you're doing for them.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it just like they deserve to be heard too. They are human after all. They're not frightening. They're not these things with teeth and glowing red eyes that we see on the movies. They're just people that got forgotten and now they're stuck here. And so interacting with them is such a pleasure, and I think they know that I'm not afraid of them, so it's so much easier for them to just feel very comfortable. But I will walk into some rooms, hotels, whatever's haunted, and go, oh, they're kind of hiding out in the corner. I can feel them, and they're like waiting to see, okay, are they going to be crazy humans? Are they, they are shy and they do kind of watch us more than they interact. They're just wonderful. I love ghosts.
And for everyone listening, not every spirit who comes through in a mediumship session is stuck here or trapped here. And our loved ones on
Right,
the other
right.
side come through all the time. So we're talking specifically about ghosts who are
Okay.
here. And why would someone get stuck?
Usually there's about 4 or 5 reasons that happens. Sometimes, well, the main thing is they don't know they're dead. They might be afraid of going through that glowing tunnel and crossing to the other side. Sometimes they feel that if I stay here, I'm closer to my loved ones, which you can be up there and be close to your loved ones too. You can move around a lot more. The ghost, think of a Polaroid picture where it's still developing. That's kind of what happens to a ghost. The soul is gone, but the outline of the person stayed. And that's why I tell people when my clients come and they said, oh, I saw my grandfather. I said, well, that's not good. That means he's here. He should be up there, because when they cross, you're just going to be a soul. You're going to feel something. You should not see your loved ones. As lovely as that is, that means that they are stuck. The soul left and now they're walking around soulless, just the outline of a body. So you want to hope that they cross over. So whether you get someone or you tell them yourself, go to the light, they need to catch up with their soul. Everything needs to go together. So
Mm.
what happens is they get stuck, or there might be a debt. Maybe, like, let's say in the case of a gold mining town, somebody had a little shootout and fought over a bag of gold, and hey, he stole my gold, and then he's still around and he doesn't want to leave because he's got some sort of little vendetta against the guy. So different things like that may keep your loved ones here or just ghost in general. But the main thing is you want to let them know that they're dead and try to help them go to the light.
Hmm. Wow. And how sad. How sad to think that someone you love might
Super
be here.
sad.
But I do want to clarify for people, if you are
Yeah.
visited by a loved one and you happen to be very clairvoyant, it might not be that they're stuck, right? It might be that they're just visiting. And so, and especially like an ascended master, some people can appear,
Yeah.
really, really appear to us. So I don't want anyone to think that if they have seen someone that they love doesn't necessarily mean they're stuck.
Right. I mean, I've also heard many cases personally myself of my clients see the loved one will pass and then they'll come back one final time. They might see him in the mirror or window.
Yeah.
And that's basically their final goodbye, and then they should transcend. I have a lot of stories of that happening. My clients have told me. So I know that they may make that last little, hey, I'm dead, strange enough.
Yeah.
Hey, you're seeing me, but I'm dead.
Now you see me,
There's
now you don't.
Yeah, there's a little irony in that. Hey, I'm
Oh my
dead.
goodness. So I would just want to get into your brilliant mind a little bit more.
Yes.
So choosing, okay, you said the universe was ready before you were. Then you fell in love with ghosts and you realize you have these gifts and you could be open to them. And obviously, we build confidence as we practice and just do it. And it kind of builds on itself. Of course, people can take classes and go to workshops and whatnot. But was there, to inspire everyone listening,
Yeah.
whether it's intuition or just business in general, was there a moment or any inspiration you could share when you said, "This is what I'm doing, and I don't know if it's gonna pay the bills or it's just this is my dharma. This is my purpose. I have to do this."
Yeah, that's a good question because so the transition then from paranormal and talking to ghosts took two phases. One, I started thinking, wow, this is kind of super selfish. Like, I feel like ghost hunting is like, oh, I need to prove that there's life after death. It's not really doing much for anything other than I feel like most ghost hunters are just like, oh, we got to show that there's proof, proof, proof. I got my proof. So I thought at this point, well, what else is there? I've proven it. I've captured audio. I've captured ghosts on camera. Now what? I'm always like a now what? What's next kind of person. And I thought, well, all right, that was fun. So then my one of my team members, because I had my own paranormal team at one point, I decided to make my own team. He goes, "You're psychic." I go, "No, that's for people on TV. That's not me. I'm not psychic." And he goes, "No, you are. Sit in this chair." I go, "Okay. Well, there's a woman right now. She's got her hair up like this. She's waiting for this. She's dressed like this. She's nervous. She's getting married. The guy's coming. His hair's like this." He's like, "You're psychic." And I was like, "I am?" So he helped me to the best of my ability get the gifts out, get the confidence out. And then he goes, "You know what? You're so advanced, I can't even help you anymore." And I thought, "No, don't leave me, Yoda." Like now what? Like how I can't be that good. And he was just like he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I can't help you anymore. You're on your own." So that's probably the worst when you're a beginning psychic and somebody says, "Okay, you're on your own." So I thought, wow, okay, this is it. No more ghost hunting. Now we start this new thing. And I had other money coming in from other little jobs and stuff. So it wasn't really like I'm doing it for money. But I thought, well, the modeling is over. You clearly need to put food on the table. So let's just give this a go. So I went on Facebook and I said, hey, if anyone wants a reading, I'm going to give a free reading here for a week. I'm going to open it up. Just send me a photo because I'm very good at reading photos. 35 people came. I did 35 people in 1 week. And I said, and I nailed it. And I was like, okay, maybe I have something. I was very humble. I was like, maybe I have something. I don't know. So people wrote me like, oh, I missed the deadline. I said, you know what? I'm going to open it up for one more week. Go ahead. Whoever wants a reading, it's on me. I got to test it out. I got to do something to test it out.
And on your
Did another.
Facebook, these are just like friends, family, like
Yeah.
not potential clients, right? Just our inner circle.
Yeah, Facebook,
Mhm.
and I purposely, even though, well, I try not to friend my clients because I never want them going, oh, well, you looked at my picture of my puppy, and you know, I don't ever want that coming back to bite me in the ass.
Right.
So, but I mean, I'm so busy, I don't really have time. Even if I did, I would never, because I have integrity, would never look at people's and read up on their Facebook
Oh,
pictures
yeah,
and
I'm not saying that, I'm saying when you
no.
started marketing, and I want everyone to be inspired by this, that you just
No, but I was just, I
start with
always
your
like to
inner
preface
circle.
that because it's very easy for people to go, "Oh, you looked me up." Da, da. No, I don't have that
Oh,
kind of time.
I hear
And if
you.
I did, I have too much integrity. I would never do that. Like, I just
No,
don't. It's like my psychic creed.
of course.
But so I read another 30, 35 people. So 70 people in 2 weeks. Okay.
Damn, girl.
70 readings. That is like insane. I still have all the readings in my notebook downstairs because I was like, wow, this was how it all began. But after that, I was like, okay, I think I can safely charge now because I feel confident that, hey, you do have a gift. I'm not just going to, I would never start something without having proof that I could do so, especially something like this.
Yeah.
It's not like you're a doctor and you got a certificate. This is totally different. You have to have the proof and the validation. And so that gave me the confidence to say, okay, I'm going to set up shop now because I see I can help people. I need to charge. So of course the prices have gone up because I've gotten better and better, and and I'm in demand. So it's different, but it started off very low. I was just like, "Hey, give me whatever." It's just like you just want to get going. When you've got something, who's my first client? I want to get going.
That's right.
And it's so crazy because I've altered from I used to do 3-hour readings for people. 3 hours.
Holy shit, did you need, like, a massage and a lobotomy after that?
I was getting massages once a week, to be honest. But I was like, "What the hell? 3 hours for $35. For $35, mind you. $35.
Who can live on that,
No,
sweetheart?
exactly. So I said, "You know what? I'm gonna start cutting it down to 2 to 1. Now it's 30 minutes," because I realized to sit in that power for that long is insane.
That's a lot.
And so now I do 30, and people are like, "I wanna do a 1-hour reading." I go, "Nope, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. Find another psychic because I know my limit. I work very hard in those 30 minutes, and that's all you need, 30 minutes."
That's right, the messages will come through, they can book you
Yeah,
again, and, now, you'd said that at the bachelorette party tonight, you're gonna do 7 minutes, right, back to back, 7 minutes. That's
7
enough
minutes
time for
apart.
1 or 2 people to come through and give a really powerful message.
Yeah, I've also stopped doing mediumships at I used to do mediumship readings at psychic parties, and then I'd come out when I was done with the last line, and every girl is sitting and crying, and she's got her little champagne because booze and girls and so I said, "I'm sorry, we're not going to be talking to grandma and grandpa anymore." I said, "I want to keep it light and happy and fun because I realize I'm Debbie Downer at the parties, and I am not doing so." It took me like the last I don't know how many years, but finally I thought, God, when I come out, I thought everybody would be happy. Yay, great reading. Everybody's crying.
Oh, babes.
And so I said, "You know what? We're done." I said, "You can book a separate reading, but we're going to keep this light and fun. We're going to talk about your life, you're married, dogs, kids, whatever, decisions to make, but there are no more communicating with your loved ones."
That's incredible. Well, I'm doing an event in February. It's the week of Valentine's Day, and it's called a Goddess Gathering Clarity Camp. I'm going to be gathering amazing people to come together,
Where?
and it's going to be
Where?
in Fort Lauderdale on the beach, so close to you.
Send
And
me all that. I want to come.
I will. Well, I want you to come, and might be my 3rd year doing it, and I've expanded it this year to be a 3rd day because everyone said it's so much over 2 days. They need a 3rd day just to spread it all apart. So what I'm
Oh,
going to do with the time in between, of course people can go back to their rooms. We do sound healing and energy healing and akashic records and intuitive readings and all this cool stuff. But Valentina, you should come and meet everybody and do readings
I
for people
do.
and
I'm
stuff. Yeah.
in.
It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday of Valentine's Day week, and then Sunday
Okay.
we're all off. I think I'm gonna go to the Ren Fair.
Lo-
So, yeah,
Okay.
we're
Okay.
gonna do it. We're gonna have so much fun. Come and be my guest. And,
Yes.
yeah, and I would love to hire you to do some fun readings
Let's
for
talk
people too.
because we're gonna talk off camera because I have some other
Okay.
things.
You have been so generous with us today, and I wanna pull some cards for you.
Oh, I am excited. I'm so excited. Like nobody ever, it's like who reads the psychic? Nobody ever worries about the psychic maybe needing help.
I got you, girl. I sent an email out to my list today in my newsletter, and it was all about for people who take care of everybody else, this is for you. And it was
Oh.
just like this 2-minute reset, 4 steps to just breathe and ground. So I get it, honey. You take care of so many people, so much energy
Aw.
comes through. I just want you to receive right now.
Ah,
And for everyone who's tuning into this, your own beautiful soul listening or watching right now, this is for you too. So I'm pulling these
yeah.
cards on behalf of Valentina, but obviously they're going to resonate with whoever is watching or listening in this perfect time. I'm going to pull one from 2 different decks. Okay. This is an oracle deck from the goddesses because that you showed up on this call today and I was like, you just have goddess energy and now you're coming to my goddess gathering. So go ahead and set your intention, Valentina. You don't even have to say it out loud. I just want you
Okay, hang
to
on.
receive. Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
So we're channeling another guide for you today, a beautiful goddess who's going to be with you at this party tonight. And these goddesses, archangels, angels of all kinds, saints can be with multiple people in multiple places. So this beautiful goddess is with everyone listening today as well. We have Vesta. This is who came through.
Vesta.
Home.
Okay.
Vesta. All right. So she says your household situation is improving either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. This is interesting. Are
It is
you?
interesting. It's already resonating with me. It's a little scary.
Okay, okay. I also see, and I want to hear about that. I love validation, but I also see, you may not like this, an animal
No.
coming in. Are you
Okay.
getting a pet? There might be a pet finding its way to you, sweetheart.
A dead pet?
No, oh,
No.
no. Vesta is the Roman goddess of home and hearth. Vesta is a fire goddess who brings warmth to households, both as temperature and as emotion. In ancient Rome, a temple in her honor could bore a flame that burned continuously. Call upon Vesta to oversee any changes you'd like to make in your living situation.
Could I keep this goddess? I mean, obviously she will work with other people, but can I
Yes.
also make this goddess my own?
Yes, you can. You can call on
Okay.
her at any
I
point.
love that. I love
Mm,
that. I will add her to my list.
we deserve our
Here's the
privacy here.
pet.
Oh my goodness!
Right, Aura. Oh, this is Aura.
Okay. I just felt such strong animal energy. I was like, you're like, is it dead? I'm like, no, it's alive. It feels like it's like coming into your space.
Here's her little pink hair.
Oh, I'm obsessed with her. Look at her.
No.
Look at her little diamond collar. What does her jacket say? Troublemaker.
It's hard to see now, but she's being on her best
Okay,
behavior.
wait. I need a photo. Wait. 1, 2, 3.
I think that's as
That's
good as
cute.
it gets.
Okay, well, there she is. She loves you. Does she want a friend? Does she want a kitty friend? Does she want another hypoallergenic puppy friend?
That's interesting you said that because she is hyperallergenic. But I had a hyperallergenic cat. It was a Bengal, and her name was Lyra, and she passed last year. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think one pet at a time is about my tolerance.
Okay, sweetie. So maybe it's just Lyra coming through. But yeah, the word hypoallergenic came on real strong. And I
That's
didn't
interesting
know.
because Lyra is hyperallergenic. That's the reason I got her. Bengals are hyperallergenic. They don't have fur. They don't shed. They're a
Yep.
nightmare of a cat, but they are
Wow.
hyperallergenic.
I didn't
That's
know that
crazy.
about them. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's really cool. Okay. So now let's pull an action card for you, sweetheart. Okay.
Okay.
So you've got the guidance of Vesta. And now everyone who's listening and watching, this is action. Here we go. Healing.
Healing.
Healing. Your body, mind, and soul are in a period of deep healing right now. You're going through many transformations at once, and you're being asked to allow yourself to receive the healing you need with open arms and an open heart.
Wow. That is crazy. I'll tell you why later. More secret stuff.
That's right. Okay. So every day, I want you to, when you wake up, I want you to say, Dear God, dear mom, what can I receive today that would help make this so much easier for me? And I see you just expanding so big, sweetheart. It feels like if a volcano was upside down, there's just so much that's just pouring into you right now. And the
Okay.
opportunities are going to be coming, coming, coming in a big way. Yeah, this is just about you allowing it, allowing the receiving, allowing the expansion,
Yes.
knowing you're worthy and deserving, knowing you're doing work on behalf of the universe, right? It's like, yeah, I'm here. Allow it.
Ah!
Mhm. Mhm.
I am so energized right now from all of this.
You also have a book. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So it took me 11 years to write. So this wasn't just something I whipped out. And I didn't use Chat GPT to write the book. This is blood, sweat, and tears. This is written from so many little scraps of paper. Finally, everything was, organized and put together. It is about my life in Alaska, my life in Switzerland, my life in Denmark. So each thing is a chapter. So just the whole my life has been nothing short of just super crazy and lots of divine intervention. So it has a lot of that in there. And then it goes off to some of the ghost stories and some of the craziest cases and interaction. But it's not all, I wouldn't say it's dark. It's more interesting because it talks about the ghosts, but it also talks about angels and heavenly interventions and things like that. So it's just a really, really good read. You'll laugh, you'll cry. I put a lot of humor in there, but it's been well received. But it's a story of survival. And I feel like I hope to inspire people because if I can go through the shit that I did and still be like this and still be laughing and smiling, and you can too. That's what I'm trying to tell you here, that you can too. Because there's a way to rise up from things when they happen. We don't have to have it be the be all end all. And that's hopefully also what that book shows is that, hey, you're going to get handed shit from time to time. Take a bath, shovel it off, you're going to be fine. It's just really resilience. And the stuff that I have been through is no joke, but you can come out from underneath it and keep going. We all want to get to the finish line. That's really how I look at it. Whether we crawl, run, skateboard, we all need to reach the finish line together. There's no easy way out. We have to all do this and be challenged at times, and hopefully that book shows that. It is a serious book, but it is also designed to help people know that, hey, it's going to be okay.
That's right. And usually it's more than okay. Look at all the things you've been through, wild things that I haven't even heard some people have ever been through.
Yep.
And I talk to a lot of people and I've been through some
Yeah.
shit. But look
Oh,
what you have allowed. Look what you have received. Look what you have created from every experience you've ever had. And you are such a bright, shining light. And that
mhm.
doesn't mean it's always easy and it's always fun and it's always glamorous, but it's your heart that you bring to it and that you're going to keep creating from. So thank you for being
Exactly.
here.
Thank you so much. This was so, oh my God, it's like opening Christmas presents early, and we did it.
We did
I'm so
it. We're
happy.
here. I love you so much, my sweet
I love
friend.
you. I love you. Okay, hang up so we can start recording so we can. Now
I'd love to hear how this episode inspired and motivated you. So be sure to leave a comment, 5 stars, and don't forget to follow or subscribe.